For this video, I'm going to take example 2 and extend it. In your workbook, you should have done the 6 months. Now we're going to create a balance sheet for the entire life of Lauren's loan. And this again is the example on page 150 in your workbook. I'm going to go ahead and fill in some information up here, our APR, our N, our Y, our P, and our PMT. So remember that APR is our interest, 9%. Don't forget to put that percent sign on there. N is our number of compounding periods per year. Since this is calculated monthly, that would be 12. The number of years, if we go back and look, we're doing this for 24 months, so 24 months would be 2 years. Our P, or our principal amount, is how much she borrowed to begin with, so $2,300. And then our PMT, they went ahead and gave us our payment. We don't have to calculate that in this particular case. So that is $105. I'm going to put that in. Okay. So for my payment, I'm going to start that first month or payment as 0, just as our holding, and fill in our 2, 3, and remember to fill down. You can just highlight 2 of them. That'll give us the rate at which it needs to increase. So it's going to increase by 2 and just drag down, and remember we need 24 months, so I'm just going to go down until that says 24. Okay. We're going to go ahead and put in our payment amount. Now remember, this is 0, so that payment amount won't go in here. It will go in the next one down. That would be 105, so $105. We can go ahead and copy that down, all the way down. We'll wait and do that paid to interest and paid to principal. I am going to go ahead and fill in my balance. So at 0, my balance is the total amount I borrowed, so $2,300. Okay. So to get how much we paid to interest, we're going to use an Excel formula. We're going to start with our equals, as we always have to. Okay. So remember, to get our interest, that formula is I equals PRT. So we need our principal amount, which we're going to click on this cell because we want this to be a cell reference because it's going to change each month depending on how much we owe after we subtract our payment. Okay, so I'm going to use that E11, so that's our principal, times our rate, which is that 9%, so I'm going to put in 9%. But remember, when we do our time, so times our time, this is only 1 month, so I can't put in 1. I need to put in 1 over 12. Okay, that will be for 1 month. Okay, so 1 out of 12. And then hit enter, and that'll give us the amount of interest we paid. That amount should match what you did in your workbook for example 2. Okay. Then the amount paid to principal, well, we're going to need to take our payment amount and subtract that interest amount. So again, we're going to do our equals, and we're just going to select those cells because we want it to be a cell reference. So our payment amount minus our interest, and hit enter. Okay. So what that tells me is my $105 isn't all going to pay down how much I owe. Only, in this case, $87.75 is going to pay that down. So if I'm going to calculate my new balance, I'm going to have to do equals 23,000. So that cell reference, that E11, minus the amount being paid to the principal, okay, and then hit enter. So now my new balance is $2,212.25. Okay. Now I can take this and copy this down. Okay. Since all of these are formulas, I can copy them all down at the same time, only because they're all formulas. And copy that all the way down. Oops, missed one. I'll get that one in a minute. Okay, now in 143, you may see this formula a little differently. Instead of having the 1 divided by 12 in here, they will kind of do a shortcut and just do divide by 12, that 9% divided by 12. Same thing, they just combined the 1/12 and the 9% together. Notice if I hit enter, oh, I must have left out a parentheses. Oh, I have an extra parentheses. So yes, we'll let it correct. Notice when I did that, I still got the same amount. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you type it as divided by 12 or if you type it as parentheses 1 divided by 12. You get the same answer. Okay, let's go down to that last one. Okay, and you'll notice I actually owe a little bit more than that last payment. So that means for that last payment, we're going to adjust. And you'll notice if you take out a loan somewhere or you do anything with a car loan, mortgage, usually the last payment is not the same as all the others. Usually it's a little bit less. Sometimes it's a little more. In this case, it's a little more. So I'm going to use this amount up here to adjust. So 106.17. Oh, still not quite right. I need to add some more to that. So I need to add 79 cents. So that would be 106. Let's see, 96 if I'm, there we go. So that last payment's going to be a little bit more than the other payments. But that is a basic amortization table. Again, that's example 2, extended. I have saved this file for you in Blackboard. It's called Balance Sheet Student 2, so you can use this as for practice. There's another example on here that you can use for practice. And then places where you can do practice 1 and practice 2 from your workbook. And you can use this to help you in completing those.